Bregman to Beantown. Alex Bregman is headed to the Red Sox. We have all the contract details. Was this a good signing for Boston? Was this the right choice for Alex Bregman? What does this mean for the rest of Major League Baseball? That's coming up next on The Big Lead. What is up, and welcome to The Big Lead. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. I've been covering sports professionally for over a decade. I cover the Dodgers for Dodgers Nation. I also cover the Rams. I do NFL radio for Westwood One. I've worked for Bleacher Report, 24/7 Sports SI. But The Big Lead is my new project, my new endeavor, my new channel, my new podcast that covers the entire world of sports, and it's the hottest stories, the biggest stories. Only the big stories, only the hottest stories are going to be covered here, and today it's about Alex Bregman. So do me a huge favor, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, and comment down below. Do you like this signing by the Boston Red Sox, and do you think that the Red Sox can contend this season in the AL East and for the World Series? I mean, how impactful do you think this move is for Boston? But let's get right into it. The Red Sox, they're in agreement with Alex Bregman on a 3-year, $120 million deal, and that gives Alex Bregman a $40 million per year AAV. There is some deferred money in the deal. We'll get into that in a second here, but the other detail that's important is Alex Bregman can opt out after each of the first 2 seasons. So this makes it the last of the unsigned free agents who had declined the qualifying offer. The Red Sox, they will surrender their second-round pick, 54th overall in the upcoming draft. They'll also give up $500,000 from their international signing bonus pool money for 2026, and they are getting a compensatory pick. They're getting a comp pick from the signing of Nick Pivetta after he signed with the San Diego Padres, and that comp pick will be about 20 spots later. So the draft capital comes out pretty close to basically meaning nothing as far as their overall grand scheme of things where they're at from that standpoint. But the Astros, they get the lowest compensation pick. Their compensation pick for this is they get a selection after the 4th round, which lands around the 137th pick overall. And look, make no mistake about it, Alex Bregman was the best free agent that was available on the market. He waited out. He was patient. A lot of guys fell off the board early, some late, but Bregman was the last guy that you saw that said, hey, could this guy sign with the team to make a massive impact? I think the Boston Red Sox that were looking for a right-handed bat, they really did well on this deal. Now, you can say that it's a, quote, overpay potentially just because of the money, but you have to look deeper into it. Now, Jeff Passan tweeted out that Alex Bregman had a variety of offers, and then Buster Olney tweeted out that the deferrals on the Alex Bregman deal are significant. The present-day value of his contract is expected to be assessed in the range of $90 million for 3 years. So at that price, and you look at the length, and you compare it to the other contract offers that were out there, then it starts to make a lot of sense. And you look at the other deals out there. Bregman had a 6-year, $156 million deal on the table from the Houston Astros. The Tigers, they presented a 6-year, $171.5 million deal. The Cubs, they offered him a $120 million deal on a 4-year contract. So you look at those deals, well, last month there was a lot of talk that Alex Bregman was committed to a long-term deal. But the Red Sox came in with a high AAV deal, and it was too good to pass up. So I look at this from the Red Sox standpoint, and you're getting a all-star caliber, someone that was in the top 5 in MVP, was an MVP runner-up in 2019, that has the ability to not only solidify the infield, there's reports that he's going to be playing second and he won't take over third base. You're going to have Rafael Devers there at third base. You don't have Alex Bregman at second, but this is someone that has had a lot of success in the postseason. Yes, I cover the Dodgers, so you're probably waiting for me to make a joke about trash can banging and Alex Bregman, and sure, a lot of those guys benefited from that, but also had good seasons after that too, where you have to hope that there was no cheating going on. And you look at his career at Fenway Park, and that's where you get really excited about this if you are a Boston Red Sox fan. His career at Fenway Park is pretty incredible. He has a 1,240 OPS in Fenway in his career. And if you look at just the last couple of seasons as a whole, I mean, 2024, he hit 583, 667, and 1250 OPS at the Green Monster. 2023, well, he crushed it too. Hit 429, slug 714. 20 in his career, those numbers, 98 plate appearances, a 750 slug. So outside of the Crawford boxes in Houston, there is no ballpark that is more designed to take advantage of what Alex Bregman does at the plate than Fenway Park and the Green Monster. So you look at that deal as a whole. I mean, Bregman took a deal that he felt good about just because, I mean, look at that. 120 for 3 years or 160 for 6. That's not crazy to think that he could make up $40 million in 3 years if his career goes as planned. So you got the investment opportunities that he can have too. So I don't think that this is a bad deal for Alex Bregman. It's a great deal for Bregman. Is it a bad deal for the Boston Red Sox? That remains to be seen. They need a right-handed bat. They said that it was going to be full throttle for Boston this offseason. And I think it just depends on what player you're getting in Alex Bregman in year one. If you look at the year he had last season, he hit 260, had a 315 on base. He slugged 453 in 634 plate appearances. And yes, that was his lowest on base percentage since the first half of his rookie season. And the other thing too was the drop in walks. He had a 6.9% walk rate. Typically, he's a guy that's in the 12 to 13% range when it comes to drawing walks. But he still maintained his ability to not strike out at a high clip. He struck out just 13.6% of the time, and the hard contact percentage was at 40.1%. That was a new career high, so he's hitting the ball hard. He's still not strike out a ton. And the walks, I think, will really normalize out for next season. I mean, you see a lot of guys that go into their contract season, and they know they want to put up big numbers, so they're pressing early on. Bregman, for the start of his season, he hit 216, had a 283 on base, a 294 slug, hit just one home run through the end of April. And then in May, the power numbers went up a little bit, but still the on base was still low at 276. And then in June, I mean, you had a slash line of 219, 280, 372. That wasn't pretty. There were a lot of people in the industry that were wondering what kind of contract that he was going to get. Was he tanking his value? But then he turned things around. His final 398 plate appearances, he hit 284, had a 337 on base, and slugged 500, hit 19 home runs, had 20 doubles in that stretch. And while the walks still weren't where we've seen him throughout his career, he still was a lot better when it came to the batted balls and a lot of the peripherals from that standpoint. You look at his numbers overall in his career. I mean, over 8 seasons, he's a 272 hitter, 366 on base guy, 483 slug, 191 home runs. And Fangraphs and Baseball Reference, they've told you that in those 8+ seasons, he's a 40 wins above replacement type of guy. That's quality in an 8-season stretch. He's won a Silver Slugger. He's won an MVP runner-up. He hasn't won the MVP, but he was runner-up in 2019. He won his first career Gold Glove last season. And look, I mean, he was big for that Astros team. That team that, yeah, it's not fun to talk about as someone that grew up a Dodgers fan, that covers the Dodgers professionally. But the big question is, can he have success with the Boston Red Sox and outside of Houston? And I've seen people on X, people saying that, okay, this is someone that was a Crawford box merchant. I bring my facts to the fight. The numbers tell a different story. He's essentially the same player at home as he is on the road throughout his career. They're almost identical. At home, he's a 275 hitter. On the road, he hits 270. At home, he has a 362 on base. On the road, it's at 369. The on base actually higher on the road than at home. The slug is at 489 at home. It's at 476 on the road. So, yes, the slug and the batting average are slightly a little higher, but still, this is a guy that's been pretty consistent with the home road splits throughout his career. Now, another storyline to look for, he is getting back together with Alex Cora. And, Alex Cora, he was Houston's bench coach in 2017. And that is the guy that he's had success with. So I'm sure that was a factor as well. And look, if you're Boston, you made those long-term commitments to Rafael Devers and to Trevor Story. And there were a lot of questions about whether or not the Red Sox would be willing to pay a high price for another infielder, and they did. And if you look at where Boston's sitting right now, they had around $210 million luxury tax commitments heading into this signing. At $40 million average AA for Bregman. Now they're at $250 million. So the actual AAV won't be as high with the deferrals, and that's going to drop the present day value. But you're going to see they're going to still be past that $241 million luxury tax threshold. They didn't pay the CBT last season, so they would only owe a 20% tax on spending between $241 million and $261 million. So even if he was a true $40 million AAV guy for Bregman, it wouldn't come with a major 1.1, a major tax hit for the Red Sox. So, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty exciting offseason for Craig Breslow and the Boston Red Sox. They said that they were full throttle. Some of their fans were wondering when they were going to spend big. There was talk that they would maybe go after Teoscar Hernandez. Were they involved with Roki Sasaki, Juan Soto? There was a lot of buzz for a couple weeks about Juan Soto being the team for the Boston Red Sox. But when you look at what they pulled off this offseason, they had a lot of talent. You brought in Garrett Crochet, who, when he's at his best, if you keep him healthy, and he proved last season, this is a guy that has Cy Young ace level potential for sure. And you get 4 prospects to get him. And then also you get Walker Buehler on a 1-year, $21.05 million deal, so just over $21 million. Buehler, not only is he coming off his best stretch that we've seen probably since like 2021 in the postseason, where he was everything for the Dodgers in his last couple appearances. He's the guy who got the final out against the Yankees. Well, on top of that, he wants to get paid. Walker Buehler is going to be laser focused to try to get a payday. So I think that the Red Sox will get the best version of Walker Buehler at this stage of his career. They also signed Patrick Sandoval to a 2-year contract through his Tommy John surgery. He made some 1-year pickups in Aroldis Chapman and Justin Wilson. So I think that's a pretty solid offseason. I mean, you get Alex Bregman is the marquee name, but you also use some of those trade chips to get Garrett Crochet. And as Jeff Passan pointed out, the fact that they intend to play him at second base, it makes him a better fit than a Nolan Arenado potentially would, because there were some whispers that the Red Sox were interested in him. But they're not connected anymore. They got their guy, Alex Bregman. As far as overall, like I said, I mean, the right park, kind of the right player that's going to be motivated. I do like this deal. I really do. I mean, I think if you're Boston, it's about getting – Boston's a franchise that doesn't go too long without being competitive, and it's a very competitive division. And the Yankees – yes, they lost Juan Soto, but they're still formidable. They still made a lot of quality moves. Look at Max Fried just adding to that pitching staff. You got Devin Williams in the bullpen. Toronto adding Santander. They want to compete. The Orioles, a lot of young, exciting, talented players. So that's a very stacked division. So unless the Boston Red Sox were content with not competing and being a basement dweller, you had to go out here and make a signing like this to make sure that you give your team the best chance to really pursue a division title and, in your case, a World Series title. So, look, Alex Bregman, made a deal for himself where he's still going to be very motivated, and hopefully, for his sake, he can put up these gaudy stats that will put him in a position to get a better deal if he thinks it's on the table. But, yeah, I mean, Bregman's gonna rake, man. Like that big monster is gonna hate to see Alex Bregman coming. I will say that. But it's funny to think of. I mean, Alex Bregman and Walker Buehler on the same team. I mean, he's got to probably bang a trash can. I don't know if he's going to do something like that as a little joke. Of course, a lot of time has passed. But that's going to do it for this episode of The Big Lead. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Do me a huge favor if you're a fan of baseball, if you're a fan of any big story in sports, we're going to be talking about it here. So subscribe to The Big Lead and hit the notification bell, hit the like button. I want to know from you guys, do you like this signing for the Boston Red Sox? But let me know down below. Subscribe to the channel. And until next time, I'm out.